mean, that's what you were talking about, moving costs, furniture. Most people don't realize the small, usually, unless you're back. Welcome back today, guys. My name is Scott Werner here with the Capstone team, brokered by EXP. To my left, the man, the myth, the legend,
Donovan Johnson with Coldwell Banker, Ingle Safari.
So today we're going to talk about how Donovan's going to shoot his shot and get out of the DMs.
What if we did a live like that? It's like, help me craft a DM.
That would be awesome. But no, truthfully, the pre-approval myth is what we're going to be talking about today. Are we going?
Yeah, my bad.
Okay. So I'm pre-approved. I'm ready to buy. Let's go.
And sometimes that's true, but like anything, there's usually some layers underneath.
But sometimes it's not true. Sometimes I talk to Keith Wimberly over at Louisiana Mortgage. Sometimes I say that I do, and I don't have that pre-approval letter.
And Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, but pre-approval is better than pre-qualified.
Yep.
Pre-qualified just is like a on the phone, okay, I believe what you say. Pre-approval does mean you have quote unquote like W-2s and whatnot, but there's deeper things.
There's some written.
Yes.
There's some written. It's not just the talking. But no, like it's like getting dressed for Mardi Gras, but you be ready, but not all be ready. Like you just be a jumbled mess. How long are you going to be staying? How long are you going to be sitting? How long are you going to be standing looking for them beads? Pre-approval is just like that.
And if you're like me with Mardi Gras, you're drinking while you're getting dressed. So all this is about to go in the can anyway. There was never a plan besides getting clipped.
Clip that. Pre-approval tells you what lenders believe that you can borrow. Like you said, it is a paper that says, hey, you put in with your offer, so you know that offer stands.
Yeah, so a lot of the things, just overview. We're not going to fully break down the sheet. We can one day if y'all really want.
Yep.
But income, debts, and credit is the big things they're looking at.
It gives buyers a strong standing point. It says, look, I'm on a firm foundation. I'm ready to go.
Right. And I feel like when you're pre-approved, it takes you from being a 50-cent window shopper to being a whole dollar buyer, you know?
It doesn't tell you what you'll be comfortable paying with every month. It just says, look, they're here and they're going to be able to pay that. But guess what? Then it's time for the realtor to come in and say, hey, look, let's find the house for what you're comfortable paying.
Right. And buyers get surprised all the time because sometimes I feel like buyers are expecting more buying power. They want to be in a super nice turnkey ready home. But I also feel like sometimes buyers with their expectations are too high.
No, you are correct. I'm working with a couple right now that is got a great budget of $250K ready to go. And he wants land, she wants a nice house. So it's trying to find the combination of both and then going ahead and saying, look, buy what you can buy right now. You might not get the max land. You might maybe go for a nicer house with a little bit less land. Save up that money because you have a great job put into that house. And when you're ready to move in 7 to 10 years, come look for me again and we'll get you that 3-acre spread with a beautiful house on it.
Right. And man, being approved and being comfortable are two different things. You want to be in the same boat with each other, but a lot of the times through explanation, they'll realize, dang, man, even if I have this buying power, I don't want my note over $1,700 a month, you know, and that's not including your utilities and whatnot. So,
I mean, that's the important thing. You have to include all those things. Just because the lender says, hey, this is what it's going to be on paper, you're going to be at $1,700. You have a lot more things that aren't on that paper that you have to pay for. Lenders calculate risks. That's what they do. Buyers say what they're comfortable to pay, because you have to think of all those things, not just the PMIs, the PTI. Mm-hmm. You can't just say, oh, PTI, which is what you're going to be paying for a month on this house, you have things that you have to add up on there.
Yeah, and people's lifestyles matter a lot, you know. Travel, savings, kids, unexpected. I mean, Scott, doesn't your daughter do dance or no?
Yeah.
See, is it gym or dance? I don't want to be disrespectful. Okay.
Yeah.
Gym's expensive, I bet. And I don't think Sadie's can probably shouldn't. My bad for saying we can bleep out that name if we want to be all weird. But that's expensive. See, it's expensive.
It's expensive.
So much stuff. Your kids go to Hamilton. Expensive. Even if you're on the board, don't matter. Ain't no rate cuts.
Ain't no rate cuts.
Probably
for me.
charge you more.
That all right, just give more. Either one.
So, but what I'm saying is that just like how we said, just because on paper it looks good, there's just you have to weigh out everything because a lot of the times people don't even know what they're spending a month.
Yep.
So imagine having to make a big purchase while not being able to say, okay, usually in my bank account I have this much spending money before I have to dip into savings. Hopefully you have savings. Like it's just life is always going to life.
It's really about making sure buyers who have breathing room usually feel much better after closing because they know that they have the money for it. And that's the thing. You have to leave monies for incidentals. You have to leave monies for if you're going to put your kid in private school. You have to leave money for gym, dance, daycare. All these things you have to leave money for. Expenses. I mean, a big one for me was always taking friends out to eat. I mean, shoot, I got a credit card. Bing, 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 bing. At the end of the month, guess what? That bing, bing, bing racked up a lot of money.
And another thing, like, because I just want to flip it on the other side since Scott did a good job of explaining the life aspect with the home. I mean, people don't realize if you got a handyman, you could probably go buy your water heater and get them to install it for about $250, $300. But if you get a plumber that's going to certify it and be able, that's going to be $1,500 if your water heater ever goes out. There's certain stuff with like sewage, depending on if you're septic or not. We're having to get things pumped out. It's just maintenance is always going to be happening. And just because you buy a home, it can be good day one and they fixed everything, but things break, wear and tear happens. Even on these really nice homes, I find myself for pre-listing appointments going in there and being like, hey, I think we should fix that, just the little stuff. So.
I mean, and that's why you have an agent always working for you because guess what? Those are the things that we're going to see in an inspection and say, hey, instead of spending all that money that you have at closing, how about we get them to pay some closing costs? I mean, truthfully, the goal isn't to borrow the maximum amount. It's to live comfortably. Because if you are comfortably living in the house that you love, man, that's that trifecta that you barely get in life, that you're like, hey, I'm making more of a payment a month than I need to, and I still have money in my pocket to do what I want to.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Closing costs surprise some buyers. Because you're talking about what is it to close? Well, guess what? You got closing costs, you got mortgage costs, you got all these costs that are happening. That's why you need a good mortgage person that is behind you that works in tandem with us as the realtor. And that's the thing. We are going to get you through it. I mean, we've said it in the last couple of podcasts, Captain Navigator.
Yeah. And even for me, I'll just say it. You know what? One of my favorite things to give people for super easy and hands off for the most part, I like paying for people's U-Haul like they're moving around. I feel like that's such a simple closing cost gift. And
dude, that's
because
awesome.
there's so much stuff happening, not having to spend the $180, even if it's like $250, whatever, it's usually actually not that expensive. And it's a very thoughtful gift in my opinion because all that stuff adds up. Imagine if you had to furnish a new home. I went and showed in $1 million home and the dude was like, my wife is about to have a field day. And I was like,
my wallet's gonna be hurting.
Yeah. He's like, hey bro, you trying to help your boy out with the
You're like, look, I get this good commission. I might throw you a few bucks because guess what? I feel sorry for you, son, because charges are racking up to fill that house. I mean, that's what you were talking about. Moving costs, furniture. Most people don't realize the small, usually, unless you're fulfilling $1 million fantasy, the usually small numbers that are going to be hitting you 90 days after closing. You have furniture, moving, all these things that are going to be hitting you. And you're like, man, I'm blind to that, because right now you're focused on buying that house. You're focused on closing the transaction. And it's like, just be prepared to do all these things that you're going to have to do after the closing happens.
Dude, absolutely. Planning, and I know we said this, feels like we're beating a dead horse, but like planning really does reduce stress, because if you try to eat it all in one day, or even move in two, sometimes it's bad. I've seen people with like garage selling, estate sale, certain things to just clear the way, because nothing sucks more than moving, and you don't realize how much stuff you have really until you either have to get rid of it or move it.
I mean, can you imagine the feeling of buying your first house and then all of a sudden getting those keys in hand after closing, and then feel the tightness of how much your financial checkbook just tightened up? I mean, nobody realizes that. And guess what? We want you to be excited to buy your first house. So when those keys drop in your hand, it doesn't feel like a 10-ton stone that just dropped your whole hand and knocked you out. Hey, it's light as a feather.
Yes. And Scott kind of said it, but once you get the keys, yes, it can feel like a big buy-in, because it is a big bet, but we want you to enjoy it and not be like, dang, bro, I should have just kept renting. Like, that's not good.
No, it's not, because guess what? There's more costs that are going to be incurred on renting, and then you're not putting equity into your own house.
But yeah, big thing for buyers, I would just look in saving, budgeting, and just having your reserves good. There's also, and the good thing is, like, some of the mortgage stuff's forgiving. When I say stuff forgiving, I mean that there's things called gifts where a parent or somebody could give you money, but you have to declare it's a gift. Like if you just deposit $5,000 into your bank account and it looks like it came from nowhere, they're gonna suspect the worst and be like, "Hey, this is flagging our system."
Yeah, I mean, you code it right to make sure that it is inputted right. It's not whether the lender says yes, it's are you truly ready?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, instead of just being approved, imagine being prepared. Big difference.
Yeah. I mean, instead of just having a piece of paper, you have the mindset behind it. Preparation gives you confidence to make that offer. When you're ready to make that offer, I'm ready to go in at the price. And guess what? If they counter back a little bit higher, I've already thought of that in my head.
Mm-hmm. And confidence makes the process smoother.
It really does. The difference between showing up relaxed and showing up stressed. If you already have calculated all these things, sometimes that's where an engineer brain an engineer's brain works perfectly. Sometimes the worst clients are engineers, but guess what? They're prepared. They had their monies in line. They're ready to go. Pre-approval is just the beginning. It's not the finish line.
Yeah, and buyers who plan beyond just the pre-approval usually have just a better overall experience.
And like I said earlier, owning a home should be exciting, not overwhelming. When you buy your first home, when you, whatever you want to say, live the American dream of buying and owning your first home, it shouldn't be come with fear. It should become with confidence.
Right. It should be like your fortress. Like your home should be your protection from the world. And you don't want to hate where your feet are. You want to make that place almost like a sanctuary, in my opinion.
I mean, you're 100% correct. You know, at least one thing that I do is like putting, praying over the house, putting scriptures on the house. That is my fortress away from the world that is so dark and dim. When I need to go run to it, I don't want to feel running to it overwhelmed. I want to come running to it freely and being like, man, I'm so glad that I'm here. Truthfully, guys, that's all that we have for today. Thank you so much for just listening. Hey, give us a heart, give us a share, give us the thumbs up. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Appreciate y'all. Have a blessed day.